Good evening, everyone. Welcome once again. In today's session, we will be discovering mathematics through art for the middle school stage. The session would be taken by Mrs. Ishita Mukherjee. Ms. Mukherjee, postgraduate in mathematics B.Ed, has been teaching mathematics since 1991. She is a master trainer for CBSE and conducts capacity building workshops for teachers all over India. She is also a resource person for Faculty Development and Research Center, FDRC, Shankar Vihar. Ms. Ishita Mukherjee is a co-author of the newly introduced book, Mathematical Literacy, brought out by CBSE. She is a CBSE committee member and contributor to the art integration towards experiential learning and innovative teaching methods for joyful learning in mathematics for CBSE. It's a pleasure to have you with us again, ma'am. A warm welcome to you. Would request you to take the session forward.
Thank you so much, Nidhi. Hi, good evening, everybody. So we will start today's session. I would like you to take a good look at that tree because we are going to discuss a lot about this later. And as I tend to do, I will start with a question. So be ready. Here comes your question. Just 1 second. All right. I guess the screen is visible to all the participants.
Yes, it is, ma'am.
And yeah. So can anybody identify these art? What kind of art are they?
Yes, waiting for answers. Varli art, that's what Maria ma'am says, Preeti ma'am says. Earlier art.
Varli art?
Varli. Yeah. And I'm just waiting for answers on Facebook. Okay, again, Preeti ma'am corrects it. She says Varli art.
What kind of art is Varli art? Would anybody like to answer that? Like, we have modern art, we have, say, the calendar art. So what kind of art would you call Varli art?
Someone says patterns, Adivasi art.
Basically folk art. Can we put it across folk art? So, it is again very, very, what should I say, rooted to the region. The folks, the people, to the region, regionally, what should I say, rooted art. Okay, the next question, as they said, people have answered that it is folk art. Do you find between the two paintings similarities? What all do you see there? And as usual, I'll tell you, forget about punctuation and spellings and things. All right, just write what is coming to your mind. We'll make sense out of it.
Black and white colored figure, landscape and portrait. And
anything mathematical commonality that you find?
Lines and triangles is what Ranjuji says. Ashwini ma'am says shapes and symmetry.
All right.
Symmetry, I'm sorry.
Okay. Lines and triangles. Any other shapes that you see?
Circles and triangles. Lot of answers. Madhavi ma'am says triangles are used.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, now have a look. You were right about one of them, of course, Warli painting, the one which is on the right from Maharashtra. But the other one, the one on the left, is actually a Saura painting, and that's from Odisha. And specifically, I've chosen these two states because of one is east and one is west. Okay. And why I was also talking about that being rooted to the ground, to the folk, the region, is that these are traditional arts. Before all these globalization happened, that, things got fusion art and all these, do you see the similarity from two corners, a country as diverse as ours? But the two corners, they are doing their own thing, but such a lot of similarity. So therefore, what I would have to say next is this. Mathematics knows no races or geographic boundaries. Would you agree with this? Do you all believe in that?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So going forward, the objective of today's session, I'm sure all of you, it's been going on for the last more than 1 year or so, doing art integration, but still the things that we are going to cover here are geometrical constructions, lesson plan, because sometimes a lot of people do not know how to plan it out right in the day. So we are going to discuss something like that. Case study questions, nowadays we are having a lot of case study questions in mathematics. So how can we do these kind of questions using art integration? And can we make it also more interesting for students, take it to, more in depth? Mensuration, definitely. Progression, so we'll be talking about algebra, arithmetic progressions and geometric progressions, and a little bit of tessellation. Okay, first I would like to know, what do you think about this picture? Whether you like it, and what all do you see here? And the name of the picture is given. Have you noticed that? It's called the Surya Namaskar.
I've noticed it. I'm looking for answers on both the platforms.
There it is, Surya Namaskar. The artist is Syed Haider Raza, and this is one of his famous Bindu series. I'd like to, before I go any further, I'd like to tell you a bit about him. A very interesting thing which I think all the teachers would like. So here it is, that he was one of the prominent, if you really see his painting, it is, the colors speak to you. In 1970s, he began to paint purely in geometric forms, particularly, this is what interests, the circle and the dot, which he likened to the idea of Bindu. More interesting part is, if you see, that one of the reasons he attributes the origin of Bindu has been his elementary school teacher, who, he was quite hyperactive, found him lacking in adequate concentration, drew a dot on the blackboard and asked him to focus on it. Isn't that wonderful? Like, just imagine a dot, a circle, and that led to such art. Really, I ask you, request you all to Google search Raza, and it's not only Bindu series, he's got Tribhuj, which is triangle, then there is Kundalini, all these series are there, but my personal favorite is Bindu. So let's have a look at the next one. This painting of Raza is called Panchatattva. Panchatattva comes from, the elements of earth that we know, the 5 elements of earth. Out here, there are certain questions I have formed it. I would like you to have a look. What all do you see in this painting? And my question is that given the side of the square, can you construct this figure? Do you need any more information?
Okay, now we're getting the answers.
Yeah.
Priyanka ma'am says, to your first question, she sees 5 elements.
Okay.
Ms. Shruti says she sees the chakras.
Yeah.
Priyanka ma'am again says she sees a square. And Nischint Amit says water. Gayatri
all right,
says,
maybe the lines or the blue probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. So my next question is about constructing this. If you had to make this and I give you the side of the square, would you be able to construct this?
Irene ma'am says it can be constructed.
It can be done. Irene ma'am was there last time also. I remember her. Okay, glad to see her here also. Okay, so do you think, Shrikant, would it be possible to unmute her, and if she could explain how she would go about it?
Irene ma'am, with your permission, can I unmute you? Please unmute yourself, and if you could choose to explain. Yes.
Hello.
Hi,
Can you
Irene
hear
ma'am.
me? It's simple. Yeah, the square has all the four sides equal. So
Yeah,
if you have one side, you get to the all the other four sides,
exactly.
and then it's easy to construct the circle because the circle is touching all the four sides of the square.
Yeah.
And then you have the center of it. So from the center, you go draw the smaller circle from the center, and then from top you construct the other circles, and below also you construct the other circles. Am I right? Oh,
Yes. So basically, let me just kind of put it this way, that the side of the square becomes the diameter of the big circle. So obviously from the diameter, you can find out the radius. And from the figure, we can see that the smaller 5 circles are equal, which means the diameter of each of these circles is 1/5 of the big circle. So all the things are now figured out. So do you think, so thank you, Irene ma'am,
welcome.
for your answer, and it was absolutely correct. So do you think this is a good question, which I'm asking to all the participants, that the children can use these for construction? Because class 6th, we start with circles and all these things, and they can have their own choice of colors. Would they find it interesting?
Yes. Rajshri ma'am says yes.
Okay. So let's now, it is not only because, you know, art is very creative also, and mathematics, as you know, we need both critical as well as creative thinking, you know, engaging both lobes of our brain. So have a look at the next slide. So these are the 5 elements that we were, I was talking about: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And in Hindi, it is Mitti, Pani, Agni. I keep on getting this. Okay, Vayu and Shunya. Now, if say a teacher asks the class to represent it their own way, so here's one. See, there's again a circle, and the child has made 5 circles. So my question here is, do these Panchatattvas have the same area? These 5 circles here also, would they have the same area as the Rasa figure? Or would there be a difference? 5 circles in that, 5 circles also here. Yes or no? And if, I mean, please also justify your answer.
Okay. Looking for answers. Okay. I think we are getting the answers on Facebook. And here Jayashri ma'am says yes. Ma'am, please do justify. We are having answers on Facebook. All of them unanimously says yeah. Say yes. Rajeshri ma'am says yes, diameter of each smaller circle is the same.
That's true. But my question is, if the bigger circle of this figure is equal to the bigger circle of the Rasa figure, the diameters are equal, would the radius of the smaller circle or the diameters of the smaller circle be equal, or there's a difference? That's my question. Think about it. See, this is about, you know, how we can make art very critical thinking, in-depth questions about measurements. It's not just that, okay, you are given a measurement and you draw it. Now you have to think about it, that how they are placed, how, you know, will the dimensions change? Let me give you a hint. Out
here.
There, the diameter, yeah, can you just tell me a couple what they are saying?
Rajeshri ma'am says different from previous figure, it's bigger than the previous one.
Yes.
Mr. Tariq says no, 1/5 diameter previously, now it is 1/3.
Perfect.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, I think we've got the correct answers. Like, yes, this would be different out there. And very correctly, I think it was
Tariq.
Tariq, sir. I got the
Yes,
name
ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh. So, as he said, in the previous one, the diameter of the smaller circles would have been 1/5, whereas in this case, it is 1/4. Let me show you another one. So, another child puts it this way. What do you think about this? This could also be a representation, right? So the child has got 5 circles, all right, but in a different way. And again, if we give, can this be made? If the child says, okay, I mean, others want to make the same thing as mine, fine, I'll give you the diameter of the biggest circle, and that is enough. Would you agree?
Looking for answers. However, if there is any teacher or any participant over here who would like to answer this, you can just show up your hand. We'll be really happy to unmute you and get and listen to your answer.
And meanwhile, I would also like them to think about it, others who have figured it out, that do you think, I mean, I'll just think about the Raza painting or think about this particular one. Now here we've put 5 circles in a circle. Suppose instead of Panchatattva, I wanted the 9 planets. Do you think so? Could I have 9 circles?
Okay.
Can somebody tell me how it could be done?
Okay, to this question from Aisha, the question with the figure from Aisha, we have answers coming. The medium circle diameter would be different. Ratio is in 1:2:3.
Absolutely.
So these are the various answers. 1:2:3
Okay.
is the ratio, is what people on even Mohanlal.
Actually, there is not 1:2. See, it's 2/3. It's 1/3, 2/3. There is no half.
Yeah, I think Sunita ma'am is agreeing
Yeah.
with it. She says Vayu and Tonya diameter is 2/3 of big, and other 3 diameter is 1/3 of the bigger one.
Yes, correct. Very correct. So my next question is it, can anybody think in the first question that can we have a representation of 9 planets? Say we depict the outer one as the sun and the 9 planets inside it being all, lit up by the sun. How would you fit in 4 more circles? And while you think about it, my question to you is, do you think,
I think we're getting an answer on Facebook. This is from Ketki ma'am, Ms. Abhayankar. She says, to draw 9 circles of equal area, divide diameter of bigger circle by 5, draw 5 circles vertically, and keep center one same, draw 4 horizontally.
Fantastic. You just extend one circle on either side, 4 sides. So instead of 3 each way, it will become 3 common. So we add one more one, so we already have 5 and 4 more. So therefore we are going to have 9 thing. So there can be many more such representations, but my question to you is, do you think these kind of questions will help you in class, will help the students? That is of more importance. Will it make them think creatively as well as critically? That's my question to you. Are they doable?
Definitely. Iron Man agrees with you. She says definitely they would.
And would they be interested? Because after that they can color them or put them up anyway. So next one, I will move on where an example. All right. So what do you find? What do you find in this figure? anything that you notice about this figure? Firstly, how many figures are there? What kind of figures are they? Any answers coming up?
Waiting for answers. Okay, Sarita ma'am says there is a polygon that she sees.
Yes.
Pushpanjali ma'am says geometrical drawing. Then
Okay,
Divya,
let me give you a hint. Sorry for interrupting, Shrikant.
circle,
I just
square, and
might
triangle.
help them.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So square, and let me say the triangle is an equilateral triangle. So what are we talking about here? Can they get the drift? The square and equilateral triangle, is there some similarity between them? I've given a clue in that word also. What kind of figures are they?
Okay, I'm looking for answers.
The answer is hidden in what I said.
Equilateral triangle square is what Vandana ma'am says. Jayashree ma'am says
Yes.
4 triangles. Irene ma'am says semicircle. Maria ma'am says all sides are equal.
Yes, so we have a square and equilateral triangle. Do you see any specific reason that I could have chosen this figure? What is common to equilateral triangle and a square?
Equilateral triangle, all
answers
sides are
coming up?
equal. Equilateral triangle, all the sides are
And
equal.
what do we call such figures? What do we call such figures? Don't we call them regular figures? So you can see, and all circles are similar. So all regular figures are always similar. So here we have a concept of similarity. You see, this circle is similar to this circle. All circles, if you extend this figure, like again, outside this circle, you make another square and triangle. You keep on, as we talked about progression, you keep on doing that. What would you get? You would get similar figures. Why? Because they are all regular figures. All right. So here, you can have a look at, the learning objective. This is about circles and polygons. The learning objective here, I would like, again, as I say, that suggested approach, because I leave it to the teachers to find their own approach. Begin.
Ma'am, I think we are losing your audio. Ishita ma'am? Hello? Ishita ma'am, I think we are losing your audio.
Shouldn't be happening though, but I'll also put my hotspot on just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, sure.
Am I audible now?
You're perfectly audible now. Very clear, yes.
All right. Okay, fine. So as I was saying that here, I mean, the students can be asked, just looking at it without giving any dimensions, anything, that how would they go about constructing this? If they have to construct, let them come up with their own strategies. It can be a group work. It can be a group work. It can also be individual because, well, I mean, it may not be possible. Some people might like to start with drawing the central circle initially and then, move out, or some might want to do the bigger circle and then find these chords and go. Here, as I said, this question gives a huge scope of taking it to higher levels. For example, at the end of it, like as I have mentioned, what do we notice about the diameters of both the circles, median of triangle, diagonals of square? You will find that they will all, what we call concurrent lines, they will meet at this point, which will be the centroid of the triangle. It will be the center of both the circles and also the point of intersection of the diagonals of the square. So these are, you see, so many topics. And of course, we have simple things as, measuring, like again, the diameter of the circle is equal to the side of the square. And this is the midpoint and this is equal. So all these can be calculated. It depends on how far the teacher would like to take it. Moving on to the next one. Okay. Again, I'm going to make this totally interactive. I would like your answers. Is my voice audible? Because at times I am seeing that it says connection unstable. So I have my Shrikant, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. All right. So I'd like you people to have a look at this figure. First, it's always best to let the other day I was, talking about how to pose a question. There is a way of it. If you wish, you can note it down. It says pose. The first one is pose. I've posed this figure. I've shown you the figure, not asked you anything. Pause. I'm going to ask you the question, then I'm going to pause. First, I'm letting the picture sink in. And then I'm going to pick, which of course Shrikant will do in this case. Have the answer, whoever he picks will answer, and then bounce. All right? That we go to another person instead of saying right or wrong. This is something you can do in class. Now comes my question. Let me tell you, this part, this is 1/3 of this, and this is 1/3 of this. This is the only clue that I'm giving you. What can you tell me about the various polygons that you see? Which theorem can you use? Compare the areas. Like if I ask you that what is going, and now you can draw this figure, you can take whatever dimensions you wish to, just keeping in mind that this portion, like for example, if you take this to be 12 centimeters, so make sure that this is 4 centimeters. If you take this to be 15 centimeters, make sure that this is 5 centimeters. That's the only condition I am putting on this figure. All right, once you have that, can somebody tell me, like, how much do you think the area of this yellow triangle will be? I'm not asking for dimensions. I'm just asking, what would you expect it to be? What would you relate it to? Any theorem that you can think of? Otherwise, you can always make a grid and younger children can find it on graph paper by measuring. But in class 9th and 10th, they can directly use theorem. So again, so much of possibilities. Anybody coming up with any theorem they can think of? Or what about this?
We are getting a lot of answers on Facebook.
Yeah, could you just share it? The others can also
Bhumi ma'am says, algebraic formula of a plus b the whole square. And certain people say it is a Pythagoras theorem. Poonam ma'am says Pythagoras theorem as we see right angle triangles. And Rajeshri ma'am here on Zoom says Pythagoras identities.
All right. Okay. Now let me take them one by one. I wouldn't say that it would be a plus b whole square, that one, or any kind of squaring thing, because it is not a square. As you can see, it's a rectangle. So there is no question of, in fact, all of these figures, the quadrilaterals are rectangle, and you can also see trapezium out here. Okay. And the theorem that I was looking for, I'm sure teachers will remember. Like, for example, this triangle, it would have area half of this rectangle, because the triangle between the same parallels and within the same height, same parallels would have half the area of the parallelogram or rectangle. Okay, So these are practical demonstrations of theorem from painting. This is a painting which I picked up. I just Google search modern geometrical painting, and this is where I got from. If I were to ask, how would you find out the area of this trapezium? Either it, of course, can be done by measurement, but again, we can, use this. This is the rectangle, and this is the diagonal. Okay, and this being a parallelogram divides the area into two congruent triangles. So that means this is half the area. So many theorems, and of course, there is all of them being right triangle, not all of them, but quite a few of them. Of course, there could be various options of using Pythagoras theorem. So here are, this is where we use art painting as a teaching tool. Not just beautifying that, okay, put it in colors which don't make sense, but using a painting and to, I would say mathematize it is what is art integration in mathematics. Let's move on. Okay, before I move on, can somebody tell me that, would you ever use this in your class? Maybe use this, if not this painting, something like that, and ask students to find out. And another thing I would say for younger classes who do not yet know these theorems, you can just ask them to measure and ask them, okay, what do you find the area of this triangle in relation to the area of this rectangle? Similarly with this, you are giving the theorem they will do later, but they will be able to relate it to the activity. Then when it is between the same parallels and with the same base, this will always be half of this.
Yes, ma'am. Teachers say they enjoy, they would obviously use these paintings in their class to help the students.
I hope you do. I hope they do, because, that would really make, and, that really brings geometry alive. A lot of students, find, what is this geometry about? Where are we ever going to need it? But, when you use these kind of thing, it makes maths just so much more visible, visual, and interesting. Let's go on to the next one here. What all do you see? What all again, I ask. See, as I said, the question, the figures I have chosen, I've deliberately chosen which can be built on. Like initially, you can just show them the measures, like, okay, do you realize that this is half of this, or this is 1/3 of this? Whereas the same thing in 9th or 10th, they do the same thing as theorems. Let me give a clue to this. This is like a case study question, all right? Manav has made a coaster. It's a square coaster that is given to you. All right, there is triangle, MPO, all these things are given. What is the area of the pink patch? What would be the area of the pink patch?
Looking for answers.
Any answers coming up?
Okay, on Facebook, we're getting quite a lot of answers.
Yeah.
They say 5 triangles is what they can see, 9 triangles. A white triangle is an isosceles triangle. So the area of the pink patch is 1/4.
Perfect. All right.
Of the square.
And yeah, now I'm sure they will have problems justifying. It would be too long. So I'll quickly do the justification here. See what all things I have used. That is, this is the diagonal. So like the previous one, divides the square into 2 equal congruents. So this is equal to this. So obviously this is half. And this, we've mentioned that Q is perpendicular. Also, this is, we can find out this is the midpoint also. Therefore, this is the median, which would again divide triangles into 2 equal triangles of equal area. Therefore, this pink patch becomes 1/4. We can take it further. We take it that this is now trisected. So that means AM is equal to AB, MA is equal to AB is equal to BO. what can we say about the areas of these triangles? Any answers coming up, Shrikant?
One-fourth of the big square, 1/2 OM into PQ. I'm just reading out the answers as they come in.
Yeah.
1/3 PMO is an isosceles triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Areas of the triangle
What
is
about-
1/4 of a square.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that is
to the
big one
teachers,
still coming on.
yeah, we're getting a lot of answers. Kitki ma'am
I'm so
says
glad that
1/6
shows interaction.
1/6 of big square.
Yes, why 1/6? How much is 1? That's a correct answer, by the way. Totally correct.
So I'm just waiting for ma'am to revert.
My question was that what can you say about these 3 areas? Are they equal? And if so, would anybody like to, if somebody
So
says
Irene
yes,
ma'am says equal, yes.
equal. So I think we'll give a chance to, I'm sure Irene ma'am knows the correct answer. So I would like to ask anybody else who says yes, Shrikant, if you could ask them to unmute themselves and give the justification.
Okay, Sarita ma'am, would you like to justify, or Rajeshri ma'am? Anyone? Oh, here, just show up your hands and we'd be happy to unmute you. Okay, Rajeshri ma'am is... Okay, ma'am, please unmute yourself and answer.
Yes, sir. The diagonal gets divided into 3 equal parts, whereas the height of 2 obtuse angle triangle and the middle acute angle triangle is same. So height is same, base is same, so the area will also come same.
Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. And you know, that was great, Rajeshri ma'am. And you see, the best part is the older students can use this theorem, whereas the younger students, this is a very easy figure to draw. They can always measure. I mean, suppose you say that the area is like, now I give you 12 into 12. Till now, I was just talking about it theoretically without, giving you, I mean, the dimensions are x into x. Now I'm giving you specific dimensions. So you do this, children draw this, and the younger ones can measure and say, oh yeah, these 3 are equal. I mean, the teacher can ask, what all do you see? These 3 are equal. As somebody said, that these would be 1/6 of the whole triangle. So many discoveries to be made. And also, these would act as a stepping stone when they are doing theoretical justification of this, just the way Rajeshri ma'am did. So this is how we can build, the deeper knowledge, the more core concepts for our students. So if anybody has found out, I can put up the answers, or you can take a screen grab and check whether your answers are correct. So this is what it is going to be. If it's 12 into 12, and then it is the pink, black, and white, they would be, pink is 36, black and white would be 24, blue would be pink plus this. So of course, that's the maximum, that's this. I'll move on now because it is being so interactive, which I'm very glad about, that I'm taking up time also. This I'm just going to leave here for you to see and come up with your own question. Do you think this figure has possibilities? Tell me. For young students as well as older ones. And is it only about geometry? Do you see anything else out here? Remember, we spoke about progression.
I'm just
Any
looking for
answers, Shrikant?
I'm looking for answers.
Yeah.
So many possibilities is what Iron Man says.
Yeah.
Just waiting for answers on. Okay, Mr. Venkateshwarlu says congruence. Then
Yes.
Pratiman says midpoint theorem.
Absolutely. We could even have a basic proportionality like for these figures, because here it is midpoint. Here, as you can see, there are different proportions. So it could even be basic proportionality. Very good.
Yes. Progression, arithmetic progression.
Yes. It could be
yes.
geometric progression of areas.
Parallelogram properties, 4 times bigger is what Nirmala ma'am says.
That's great. So this I'm going to leave for you to, maybe come up and you could share it with us at Collins, or even my email ID will be there. So I would like to, in that case, show it to CBSE or something, share it wherever possible with, of course, proper credits. That these are the kind of things teachers come up with, given the choice and given this. So just try and pick up these kind of figures. They are very easy to find. Just Google search abstract geometric paintings or abstract modern art, modern geometric, and you will get a plethora of these figures. And you can ask your students to create questions. Maybe they would be simple, but when you create question, it shows deeper knowledge. All right. Now so remember we talked about progression. So let's see arithmetic and geometric progression. First, I'd like you to have a look at this. These are the nested hexagons, illusionary drawings. I think a lot of you might have even taught your students how to make these. So here, my question would be, if I take it as just 2-dimension, I mean, by coloring, we can make it a 3D figure look-alike also, but as 2-dimension, what would be the area? What would be, firstly, I would say the sides. Okay, if the sides are increasing, okay, this is double this, what kind of figure is it? If I say that first one is 2 centimeter, next one is 4, and then it is, say, 6. I didn't say 8, 6. And
Radha ma'am says hexagon, the shape is that of a hexagon.
Yes,
Archana ma'am says properties of a parallelogram.
He's looking at
ma'am
the
says,
3D.
and Jayshree ma'am says regular hexagons.
Yes, very correct. That's a very good answer. Not any hexagon, it's a regular hexagon. That's a very important point. Very good. Okay, so here let me show you something like this. It's a very similar figure. Here you see the nested squares. Out here you have nested hexagon, you have nested squares, and see the measurement of the sides are given to you. Now look at this. The first one is 1 unit, the side. The second one is 1.5. Okay, the yellow one. All right, that's also a square if you see. Again, the white one is 2. So my first question is, this progression that is happening, what kind of progression is that? Firstly, is it a progression at all? And if it's a progression, how do you say that it's a progression?
Okay, Rajshri ma'am says it's an arithmetic progression. So she agrees it's a progression.
Okay. Can she tell
many
me the
people say AP. Many people are saying it's an AP.
Yes, and they are absolutely correct. It's an AP with a common difference 0.5. Now comes my second question.
Yes, Vandana ma'am has said the common difference is 0.5.
She's correct. And now my question is, the sides, right now we were discussing about sides. Now I'm moving on to the areas of this. What would that be a progression also, and what kind, if it is?
Okay, it's a progression because common difference is same. That's what Jayshree ma'am says.
Correct.
Okay, Shruti ma'am
Now
says
I'm asking
AP.
about the area.
Okay.
What about the area? Would that also show a progression?
It's a GP. It's a GP.
Absolutely correct. Whoever has said it.
Jayshree ma'am says. Jayshree ma'am has said it. So we have 2 different Jayshree ma'ams. One on Facebook and it's such a coincidence.
Okay.
But both of them
All
match with it.
right. So do you realize here we have a figure which gives you AP as well as GP? Okay, if children can measure for themselves, find out, calculate, and see, calculation, I wouldn't say main thing. Let them use a calculator or do whatever, but it is the concept, finding out why is it a GP, whether the multiplication, that thing, the ratio remains, I mean, what is that it making a GP? When we are talking about sides, because that is one dimensional, whereas when we are talking about the area, it becomes two dimensional, and therefore it is becoming a GP. These are concepts that you learn through these kind of things. Look at these. Firstly, tell me how many people find these cute. I thought this was so creative and also easy to make.
I find it cute, and Iron Man says she finds it cute. Yeah, I think many of them do.
Okay. So here, if you see, these are solely made up of circle, semicircle, and quadrants. And again, as I've chosen questions which can be done from 6th to 10th, because if we talk about quadrants, people might say, oh, quadrant or sectors are done only in 10th. No, we can always tell a child, okay, in class 6th, you know how to find out the area of a circle. A quadrant is 1/4 of it. We don't have to go into the central angle or sectors or anything. We just divide it by 4. Now here, see, I have made up a question. I'm sure you people can make better ones. You are given, these are all, circle, part of circle and all this. Okay, you are given that the area is given 154 square units. Can you find the areas and perimeters of each figure? You don't have to do it. I'm just asking for a yes/no answer. Like, for example, if you are given the circle is 154, would you be able to find out the area of this figure?
Yes. Achna ma'am says yes. Irene ma'am
Would
says
she like
yes.
to unmute herself and explain how?
A lot of teachers say yes. So any of you, ma'am, if you'd like to unmute, please show up your hand and we'd be happy to listen to you. So just waiting for them. Okay, Rajshri ma'am says yes. So any teacher who'd like to show up their hands and...
Actually, I think as they have said yes, they can figure it out. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on because, after all, we have...
sure. Paucity of time.
So I'm going to move on here. All right. So as I said, for case study, I would like you people to read this question. So there's a school who wants to, they are doing an exhibition on living beings, Blue Planet School, and they have created various animals, the ones you have seen already. Each class was allotted different shapes to work with. So class 10 got parts of circle. Radius is given 7 centimeters. Now the various question based on that single information. So the first figure was created by this child. The first question is, what shapes? We've already discussed that. You can see a semicircle and 3 quadrants. How much paper did Kabir use for his figure? I'm not going to go because, already you teachers know about these. So how this is to be done and all that, I will not go, but definitely I will be giving you the answers. I'm much more interested in this figure. So the answer is here. You can take a screen grab and work it out. You never know. I might have done it wrong. I'm pretty bad at calculations, actually. Okay. Now this one, what do you think about the circumference of this? The second figure I'm talking about. Would the circumference be of a circle? Yes or no?
Looking for answers. First is semicircles. circle and it's 1/4. That's what Shaili ma'am says. Okay.
Okay, my
Equal
question
to the
is,
circumference of a circle. That's what Mohanlal sir says. Some people say no, it's mixed. Many people say yes. Archana ma'am says no. Someone has
I
given the
will
number
agree
also.
with
44.
Archana ma'am.
Jayashree
I
ma'am
will
says
agree with
44
Archana ma'am.
centimeters.
I will agree with Archana ma'am, and I will explain why the circumference is not a circle here, not the full circle, because in fact this is more, because what you will do is count this much, one radius plus this part and this radius, which is going to be extra. Had it been a normal circle, all you have done is this and this, okay, would have formed. But now we are adding twice radius also to it, because this gets added, so does this part. Interesting, isn't it? You have to think about it. All right, can be used as a HOTS question, or, ask the children to, decipher why it should be so. So these are the various kind of questions. Which figure has the smallest circumference? Now it would appear that this one, because you see there are 5 quadrants, here there are 4 quadrants, here there are 3 quadrants. It kind of tells you assume that this with the smallest quadrants, these number of quadrants would have less. But once you check them out, you will find that the whale, the bear this one has the smallest one, and actually this is quite big. This is 61 centimeters. This, of course, is the biggest. So a lot of interesting things, a lot of assumptions being broken happening there. Now, if you remember, I told you to keep this in mind. This is what we started with. So we've come a full circle now. Does anybody know the name of this? What's happening here? Does it have a name other than, of course, it being a give?
So again, waiting for answers on.
Actually, I think because I have got an eye on the.
Someone says pattern. Someone says Pythagorean tree.
Absolutely the correct answer. Now, before I go on to the next slide, I want you, because we are going to discuss this, I want you people to have a good look at this, especially this area. All right, this portion I'm talking about, have a very good look at this, and think in your mind, what kind of triangles have we seen here as I go to the next one. This too is a Pythagorean tree.
Archana ma'am says she sees right angle triangle.
Yes, absolutely correct. But are they the same kind of right angle triangle? That's my question. I will just quickly take you back so that you can have a look at this right angle triangle, this red one. Okay, and I'll just have a look at this right angle triangle. Now tell me, what is the difference? I've already told you there's a difference.
Okay, I think one second. Yeah, I think some teachers here a lot of answers, so I'm not able to keep pace. However, they say no, they're not right angle triangle. They are right angle triangles, but they are unequal.
Yeah. Exactly. So can anybody tell or let me tell the difference. The first one was an isosceles right triangle, which is your 90, 45, 45, whereas this one is 90, 60, 30. Now here is the beauty of this. You can see how different it is developing. That Pythagorean tree and this Pythagorean tree look different. That was growing in a very symmetrical manner. This is not. So do you realize with the right angle changing, see 90 degree will remain 90 degree, but these two changing figure. It could be 70-20, it could be 10-80, it could be just complementary angles. How the figure will change constantly, for that, have a look at, have a look at this. Just keep your eye on the triangles, how they are shifting. And do you see all kinds of trees that we see around us, whether they are the deciduous ones, or they are ferns, or they are shrubs? Everything is being represented out here. Would you agree with that if I said something like that?
Yes.
Do you find it beautiful? Because I think I could look at it for, God knows how long, just the beauty of it. Who says maths is not beautiful, that maths is dry? This is what maths is about. So how many of you would agree if I said this?
Mathematics is the language with which God has written the universe. I think someone actually at the beginning of the session put that as a comment on Facebook.
I'm so glad. And this was given by Galileo. So this is what maths is all about. So as we near the end, this is just the explanation of what I said, Pythagorean tree. The first one that you saw was this one, 90, 45, 45, and the second one, and the third one which you saw, that it could be any right angle triangle. Why I'm showing this? Because this can be given as a group work or project work to your students, a group of students. Tell them to make different kinds. Somebody can take, they can use, protractor also, because not every angle can be drawn with compass. And this is a huge, I've seen people make murals out of it, whole wall, this thing. So they can make it on chart paper or any such thing. Let them use their protractors instead of compass if they are more comfortable with that. And let them take different combination. You can maybe make 3-4 groups or 10 groups, whatever, and give different idea, 45-45, 75-15, 60-30, whatever, and see what all designs they come up with. Another thing which I have, on Pythagoras is this, where a lot of people I've seen that they limit Pythagoras to just right angle triangles. But if you look at it, it actually holds true for any regular figure. So you can see that you have these triangles. We always talk about the square, right? Right angle triangle and the squares built on it. But if you see, these are triangles which are equilateral triangles. I said regular figures only. So therefore you will find this plus this, the areas of these two will equal this. Squares, we already know. You can do with pentagons, regular pentagons again, and regular hexagons. You can build up, you can go up to heptagons, octagons, whatever, and let the children find out whether the areas are equal. When they add up, the sum of the areas is equal to the biggest one or not. It could be done as a project work. And I'm going to lastly end with something which I found very beautiful, another gift. This is, as I said, tessellation. Why some figures don't tessellate. Just have a look. Pentagons don't. Can somebody give me the reason why? My last question for you. First, tell me how many of you found this beautiful. Just something very attractive to look at. How the
I think
Jayashree
ma'am wants to answer you, ma'am. So
yes,
I'm just
yes,
unmuting
Jayashree ma'am. Yeah.
Please unmute yourself and Jayashree ma'am, please unmute yourself. I think she's finding it difficult to unmute, or perhaps there's a technical issue.
Yeah, there could be some audio problem. But anyway, the answer, I think you would have realized that we say angles around a point, that is 360 degree. And these are regular pentagons. Each angle, inside interior angle, is 108 degree, which is not a factor of 360 degree. There are exactly 3 regular figures which tessellate. That is your, I'm talking about regular figures only. Otherwise, you can have tessellations for various, even in irregular figures. But regular figures, it is only equilateral triangle, a square, and hexagon. Equilateral triangle, because it is 60, 360 is divided, it's a factor of 360. Square, because it is 90. And hexagon, because it is 120. These are the only 3 regular figures which tessellate. Rest, if you tessellate, I mean, it wouldn't tessellate, you will have these kind of pattern with gaps, which of course we can fill up. You can see that these are rhombus. All right. So you can fill up with rhombus and have various beautiful designs. With that, I would end. I think this is what I would like to say, that mathematics is all about being a creative thinker, not a calculator. That's what I believe in, truly.
Exactly.
So thank you all so much. You've been so participative, and now it's all yours.
Thank
Any
you so much,
questions,
ma'am.
anything, Shrikant?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for a wonderful session. That was lively. That was beautiful. Yes. And to all the teachers, we've shared the feedback forms, the links for the feedback form on both YouTube as well as Zoom. So please do in the chats of both YouTube and Zoom. So please do use it. And the next thing, ma'am, the first question here to you is from Deepa ma'am, who asked you if you could explain which kind of software you use to make these type of patterns, if any.
Nothing, Deepa ma'am. It is all just I've taken gifts and things, downloaded, copy pasted. Believe me. In fact, Shrikant, I think will tell you I'm pretty much tech challenge. I'm not being humble here. I'm telling you the clear truth. It is just copy paste. Yes, I hunt around a lot. I go to Google search, I look for this, that, and whatever I like, you can see, because you can see picture and give sources internet. All
Yes,
right.
thank you. Yes, thank you so
So
much.
that's my answer.
Ma'am, to your claim that you're tech challenge, I think you're doing much better than many, even some of us. So I think you caught up very well with technology. So I'm just looking for more questions. Teachers, in case you've got more questions, please feel free to share them or just to jot them on the chat boxes, and ma'am will be very happy to answer. I think most of them, okay, most of the teachers are, I'm sure everyone has understood what you've said, and everyone is praising the session. They want more sessions from you, and they've uh, they've just loved the session. So, ma'am, we would like to have few more sessions. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
So much.
Yes.
Thank you all. So I think we are at the end of the thing, and all I would like to say is, in these kind of times, God bless you. Stay happy, stay safe. Most of all, stay healthy, stay in. That's what life is now. The box and us. Thank you all. Thank you, Collins team, Shrikant, everybody. Goodbye. And my email ID is there. So I guess you can always, if you wish, you can write to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. To all the teachers, thank you so much for being a part of the session. We just loved you having here. This was such a wonderful session. All of you were interactive from the minute one, minute go. So thank you so much for that. And also there are a lot of teachers who are asking for more sessions like this. So to all the teachers, yes, we can explore that. And to the teachers who are asking for the attendance sheet or the feedback form, we'll be sharing it again. So please, look up the chat box, and we'd be happy to share that. So my colleague Preeti would be doing that on YouTube also. Thank you so much, ma'am, and it was such a wonderful time with you this evening. Thank you so much. You're a lot of energy, bubbling with energy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Goodbye, all of you. Bye bye.
Bye, ma'am. And to all the teachers, wish you all a great evening and a happy weekend. Thank you so much.